comfortable.
to hear everything you have to say.
Yeah,
And
to
I
be
even told him, I
comfortable with
said,
you.
look, I have an idea of things where I'm lacking, and I'm trying to get better at those. But what if there's something that you're seeing from the outside that I'm oblivious to,
Yeah.
and I'm not even attempting to improve, something that I can fix like this, or it may take months, you don't know, but like things I'm oblivious to. Like I think I'm slow at times when it comes to video editing specifically.
Mm.
Pictures,
Because the perfectionist kicks in, and sometimes you need to understand that
I
like
told him that. I said I think I overthink
80%
too.
of the.
I overthink
Hmm.
too much, and he said, "Yeah, that's definitely one of the things. Is that I over I not that I'm doing it like extremely wrong. It's the fact that I'm overthinking something too that's
Yeah,
very simple
it's
and
sometimes
taking
like
longer to do so because of that.
putting out 80% product and having somebody else look at it will help you get the rest of the 20%. And you're just trying to be perfect, put out the 100%, and so nobody has anything to say about it, and
Yeah,
that's wrong. Because you never know. You want to make the
it
mistake.
depends though. Some,
You
like
want to make the
now,
mistake because then it's gonna progress you.
yes and no. Now I'm getting to the point where I need to start doing things 100 because he needs to not have to start. He doesn't need to be. We need to get to a point where he doesn't need to check our shit. It needs to get to a point where me and dude, because we're the first two people in the business he's hired. Not first two. He had another person, but that left, right? But the first like two real people that have stayed kind of like long termish. I mean, I've been there since October, I guess.
I got one
They're,
thing we can talk about. One thing, but that's not gonna be long.
well, I know it was said we can try and stick around Europe, so we can divert, but let's
Yeah,
try and go back to Europe in the
that's
sense of
cool.
that's like our main topic.
Okay.
But I feel like he's trying to have us like be his kind of how he has like certain other Cameron has certain people in Miguel's business that are like the overseers, and that's what I think he wants kind of one of us, both of us, to be able to be is like I don't need to check your shit. Y'all gonna be checking other shit and fixing other people's stuff and making sure it goes out, and I don't even have to fucking know about it.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Most bosses are like this. Like I know most bosses are
I
like this.
like my boss though.
I usually give it to them like, listen, here's the issue. I'm handling it. I know exactly how to
You
do
know,
it, and then I'll let you know if I need any
you
help.
know how
But it's being handled.
you ever go to your superior with a question that you know feels stupid, and they don't make you feel stupid about it. They're like, no, it's fine. Like, I understand what you were thinking that, and you're right to think that way. No, in the sense where like you feel like you have a stupid question, and you end up not getting a stupid answer to it.
Anytime I have a question, bro, I ask. I don't even go
No,
that
no, no, no.
far.
But listen, what I'm trying to say is, have you ever had what you thought was a stupid question? Maybe you're like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be asking this. Like, maybe it's in your head. It's like it's almost a given, but I still want to ask, right? And you're saying, oh, I always ask. I always ask. I always ask. So I think it hasn't started yet. So what I'm trying to
He
say
says
is,
we can hear you.
yeah, yeah. ¿Qué fue?
Told you. Talk. Say something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you got me talking on stream here.
Getting little live stream. Getting little live stream extras.
Look,
Giving out the sauce.
scroll down. Something else like, yeah, it's
mic check, guys. Give us a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear us. You should be able to hear us. I had a little oopsie in the beginning, but it looks like we're back on track. Anyway, welcome back to Ghetto Rig, episode 220. Getting those round numbers. My name is Jay, as you all know. To my right, I have my co-host Eddie. Behind the camera, we got Miggy. Figuring out. There we go. Mic check is good to go. I can hear it on my end, so we're good. Anyway, guys, welcome back to episode 220. We want to dive, as you can see on a topic. It's about Europe, but before I go dive into that, I have a question. Do you old boys know what day it is today?
April Fools.
April Fools. So what I was gonna ask you, I've been super conscious of it. Super conscious of it. Huh?
I heard Eddie was getting a kid.
Okay, bro.
All right, April Fools.
Yeah. I was super conscious of it,
That's a
so
bad joke.
no one has
Clap,
got
clap,
me.
clap, clap,
Yeah.
clap.
No one got me today. Of course, I didn't go around too many people. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be gotten. I thought at the gym somebody was gonna pull a prank on me. You know, even though Jonathan came in and was like, "Hey, bro, you're getting better," and then I look at him. He goes, "April Fools." But did you guys get anyone? That was the question. I was gonna ask.
So today at the office we were talking about it because so a bunch of the guys, not a bunch, but we have a couple of guys that have flown out. One of them being our owner. He flew out.
He got flown out.
Yeah, he got flown out. But and then another guy,
flued
actually Austin, the one we had on the podcast last week, he flew out to go do some work as well. So they're actually out working right now, and our owner flew out first. While we were at the office today, he was actually already on a plane, and we were thinking about messing with him, and because our owner flew for luxury reasons, not luxury, but how'd you say? He flew for fun, for vacation.
For
right?
vacation.
Yeah, he flew out for vacation, and Austin's flying out for work, right, to go do some stuff. And we were thinking about, not we, but they were thinking about messing with him, about being like, oh, I missed my transition flight. Like, I won't be able to make it to do the stuff for the client, this and that, and like mess with him. They were thinking about a bunch of different things. I told them, you could tell them I was taking a shit. And so I took, like, we were late for me to be able to take it because I was the one who took him to the airport. He ended up not messing with him, but I think it would have been kind of funny. It definitely would have been kind of funny. Especially it's a big client. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to write down the name. We can't say it, but I'm going to write it down. You're going to know it. Like, it's a big client.
What about you, Miggy? Did you get anyone?
No, I wasn't really doing any of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
big client. Big client.
Damn, that's big.
Yeah. We've done work for them before. Miggy's company has done work for them before. You know who we flew out to go do stuff for, right? Miguel?
Who do we get flown out?
No. Do you know who Nugs got flew out to go do work for, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We worked on it before.
Anyway, so that was my thing. That was the quick side. 'Cause we kind of have to touch on that. You know what I mean?
It is April Fool's. I wish I would have had something better for you, Jay.
Although my friend, his girl got him really well. You know the friend. I don't want to expose him. You know, but she texted him, "I'm pregnant."
Oh,
And
damn.
then he woke up first thing in the morning. He sees that text message without realizing it's April Fool's. Fucking immediately scrambling, grabbing the phone and everything, you know.
That's fucked up, bro. I mean,
yeah.
If I woke up to a text like that, I mean, good thing I wake up next to my girl. We go to work at the same time, so like she would have had to just tell me face to
But you don't
face.
fuck the day before April Fools.
Well, even if you fuck before the day of April Fool's, you know it takes like a week for a girl to be able to like test
Hey.
positive on a pregnancy test. Oh damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
He's like my life. Oh, shit.
But I thought it was funny as shit when he said that. But yeah, it was a good day today. So got to be on the mat.
They went by fast. I feel like.
They went by fast. Yeah, as I said, guys, like today, like at nighttime right now, it's like the week is over for me. You know what I mean? I already know. It's like, you know, you guys are saying thank God it's Friday. I say thank God it's Wednesday, bro. Like I know already my week is done. You know what I mean? It's gonna fly by.
I got plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah, I do have a lot of stuff to do, but I'm so busy throughout the day that it's just not. It's gonna pass right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you find that you have like a? Before we get into our main topic, we'll talk a little more on this. Do you find that you have a method to get into a flow state at work,
bro?
or you kind of just sit down and tackle the bitch?
I just sit down. So I have lists of things that I do. It's all listed. So I know exactly. it took me some trial and error to get to that point. I know exactly what time what report comes out, so I go through it. Okay, I need to get this report down first because this is first, then this one, then this one. Then I know this one gets generated. I'll hop on this one, even though this is not complete yet. I'll finish that right away because
Do you understand like when they're coming out and when they have to
there
be
are
due?
some reports or some things that I do throughout the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
So those I'll tackle slowly, and then I'll jump the ones that just come out and can get done right away. So I'll knock those out. It's kind of like, you know, when you're eating on a plate, like the way you like to eat. Some people tackle right away the meat. Some people tackle the vegetables. So that's what I do.
I do it all at once.
Yeah, you do it all at once.
Like I like mix it. Like when I take a bite of something, I want it to have all bits
the
of the
flavors.
plate.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, you know, okay, I know I can finish this, so I'll finish that. Even though it came out like midday, I finish that, and then I'll get back to this, and then just kind of flip flop.
Let me say, if you have a plate of rice and some kind of protein in front of you, like let's just say rice and chicken to make it easy, and you are the kind of person that is taking a bite of chicken and putting it in your mouth, and then biting and swallowing that, and then taking like a bite of rice, and then like one at a time, you're a psychopath.
I agree. You should have the whole entire palate. Like,
yeah, you should be having like a spoonful of rice and the protein together. You know what I mean? Like if you're eating them one by one, like each one separately, psychopath.
So I know I'm a fat ass at heart. So if it was up to me, I'd eat the rice first, and then I'll hit all the other shit. But what I do is I started doing more of this method of eating the protein first, and then tackling all the other shit. So if there's vegetables, protein, and carbs, I'll do vegetables first, protein second, and then carbs.
I realized
if it's only protein, then it's protein, then carbs.
I realized I have like a ratio of like meat to rice ratio of like how much I like to take in one bite. And I realized that ratio was actually forcing me to eat a lot more rice than I actually wanted to, right? And so lately I've been trying to implement more protein, less rice.
Yeah.
More protein, less rice. And because, I don't know, I feel like you just get so used to eating a certain way. And, you know, in our culture, we're so used to eating like rice, beans, and some kind of protein every day. And it kind of like almost becomes like a habit on how you do it, even like the process of how you go about it.
Yeah.
It's just a habit.
I've been trying to cut that tradition though, just eating rice and beans. I've just been, you know, having my mom make different stuff, like potatoes she made today. Some buttered potatoes. I'm like, oh shit, this is fire.
Potatoes are the shit, bro.
Potatoes are one of my favorite.
Yeah, if they're fried really well, like on a pan, bro. Oh my god.
Not even, they don't even have to be fried. Like good baked potato, something
or
like
baked. Yeah.
Yeah, potatoes are one of my favorite carbs. One of my favorite.
You can eat them.
Potato is
bread
good.
Is the number one. Nothing beats fucking bread.
Bread is good, but although I have to say, your grandma's rice and beans for me are like, once I tasted that, specifically her beans, that's my favorite carb. Like, but that's a unique situation, right? I do also enjoy your mom's rice, Damaris rice. Enjoy that a lot. So anytime I get a chance to eat your mom's rice or Damaris rice, I'll eat that.
I will say Dominican rice, because I've had rice all across the Caribbean, a lot of different South American, Mexican, you know, even like compared to Asian, you know, Chinese and Japanese white rice. It is the greasiest
Dominican rice
out of all of them, if you ask me. Like just the basic white rice. I'm just talking about white rice only. I feel like it's the greasiest. It has the most flavor and is the worst for you. And to me, it is the best. Like flavor wise, nothing beats Dominican white rice, in my opinion. And I've tried it all. There's a certain style of like, in the sense of the way Cubans make it, in the sense of the way, you know, Puerto Ricans make it, and all these different cultures. Now, of course, they're not all the same, right? Just because it's like Dominican rice means it's going to be good. No, that's not what I'm saying. And I've had Cuban rice that I enjoyed a lot more than I've had certain Dominican rice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of all over the place. But in general, there's like a certain style, you know, that kind of like is universal across the culture and how they make their rice.
To go about that, I never really had rice like that in Dominican Republic, because anytime we're in those resorts and stuff like that, I'll try to eat more of the other.
Put it this way: when you go to a resort, if you have the white rice, I've been to resorts plenty of times and I've had the white rice, and it's like, damn, it feels like my fucking grandma cooked this. How like soft, well cooked, and greasy as fuck the rice is. It's like my grandma cooked.
Yeah, I never have the rice because I feel like that's gonna fill me up. I might as well eat other shit that I never had
that's
before.
That's the thing. You usually think that because it's usually white rice is like the filler. A lot of and when you're out and about a lot of times white rice is the filler. At home it's different. Made well and you enjoy it. It's good.
Matter of fact, Luma, I love your rice. This is what we're talking about.
But bro, I'm telling you, when you're in a Dominican place, like in Dominican Republic, of course, when you're in Dominican Republic, the white rice anywhere I've gone is fucking.
But here's the
insane.
thing. Now I've been to a lot of restaurants, Hispanic restaurants within this area, and I've yet to come across rice or beans that how your mom makes it, or how your grandma makes it, or how the Maris makes it. All of the rice I've ever tasted, because I'll get white rice, because I'm trying to figure out which restaurant has better white rice, and I'll make an effort to right away try to taste it first.
So this is the problem.
Just to see the flavor. But there's no fucking flavor. Like the way your mom makes it, the Maris makes the rice, when you eat the rice has this unique fucking flavor by itself, just white, plain rice. I don't know whether it's the ratio of salt to rice, the oil to rice, or combination of both.
It's the amount
I don't know what it is.
It's the ratio from salt to oil to water as well in the rice.
Yeah.
I feel like something that Dominicans... I'm not... You can probably tell me to cook rice right now. I'll fuck it up. I don't cook. I
mean, Miggy and I decided to cook some rice in fucking Las Vegas. We fucked up a whole pot. We had to do a second one.
Yeah, but that's because the way we cooked it was different too.
Yeah.
We cooked it like in what was it, like a fucking...
Yeah, in like a pan or some shit.
Yeah, it was not the right way. I usually use a fucking rice cooker. It's a lot easier.
In my house, we use an actual pot. My mom used to use a rice cooker at one point in time. I mean, it's basically essentially the same thing. I mean, it's not very much different. The rice cooker is just a little more like controlled.
I wish there was a way, because with these ladies, there's no way you can write down this recipe, because it's all like by eye, right? Yeah. Like it's almost, you have to like stop them and then have them like drop the salt and everything inside the thing while you measure the weight of it. Yeah. And then, because sometimes it'll be like they'll put the rice and it's not enough. They'll grab a little more. So I feel like if we do that to them, if they drop it in the thing, that's gonna kick them off the flow.
I feel like another thing too is like the confidence in making rice. You have to have confidence that you did it right, because the moment you open that fucking pot in the middle of it cooking, you fucked it.
Yeah.
You fucked it. Like, you're letting out all that steam, and it literally can sometimes ruin the rice if you're doing it at a certain point in time. Which is where I feel like I always make the mistake anytime I've tried to make rice, is I'm not confident that I did it right, and so I'm like checking it too early and letting all that steam out and not letting it cook properly.
And plus, here's the thing. Dominican rice is very, very specific, right? Because somehow your mom is able to make what's called concon. Concon is basically the hard part of rice that kind of like crusts on the bottom of the pan, and then it comes off. Like
Cubans call it rapa.
Yeah. But that's the only time I've ever seen anybody make it. Maybe I don't see their pots because they're just giving you a portion of rice. Maybe they do it all. But like your mom is like literally every time she cooks rice, there's that fucking hard part of the rice in there.
Well, she knows that my dad and people like you and Arthur and I like it too. That we enjoy it. The thing is to me, the crazy part about the whole concon thing is how the fuck did you not burn it? Mm-hmm. How'd you get it to that perfect point where it just got a little like,
and you know what's the craziest
golden
shit?
Brown toasty, and it's good. It doesn't. You know what's the
craziest shit?
Rice, when it burns, it tastes bad. Like
yes.
Burnt rice, I can like, even when a little bit of rice burns on the bottom of the can, it gives the entire fucking pot that essence of like smoked fucking burnt rice. It ruins the entire thing. Yeah. Like the moment rice burns to me, it ruins it.
But the craziest thing to me is, when they make that concon, if they keep the lid on top of it for 1 minute too long, that shit gonna be soggy as fuck.
Yeah.
So somehow they're able to figure this shit out where they can take that lid off, and now they didn't release any extra steam, nothing. The rice is cooked, and it's just gonna make that perfect. And sometimes, like,
you know what happens is they'll cook it, and they'll still have it in like the main pot, and they're gonna move it over to something else, you know, to serve people, whatever. But they'll have it in that main pot. And my mom will tell me, yeah, the rice is done. You can go ahead and start serving yourself. And I'm like, oh, you still have it on low. And I go to like click and she's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, it's still like doing its thing. I'm like, what do you mean? You said it's ready. She's like, yeah, the top is ready. But I'm assuming she's talking about the concon.
The bottom part. Yeah.
Like, I'm sure what they do is like cook it to a certain point and then slow it down really low.
Get a nice
and let it like slow crisp itself. And also that probably keeps it from like drying out and certain things like that.
Yeah, that's the best. In my opinion, that's the best part of the rice, you know? It's rough, it's tough, but it's delicious. There's that, you know, glutinous gooiness in the rice that's just very something. Anyway, but that's, we're going to talk about Europe, but we ended up talking rice, you know what I'm saying?
Rice.
All right, guys, back to the topic. Europe, guys.
Where are we starting?
So there's gonna be a little mini trip for a couple of us.
Mini.
Mini.
It's gonna be
maxi.
the biggest fucking trip we've ever. I don't think I've ever been somewhere for so long.
Yeah. We're gonna do it the European style this time, because Europeans will do that. They'll come to America for like a fucking
Weeks.
month and a
Yeah.
half, But anyway, so let's talk about Mickey. What you got for us?
Where are we starting?
So we're gonna be heading to Vilnius first, to go see the family.
Yep, we're gonna spend a couple of days there and hopefully celebrate my uncle's birthday. But yeah, so this is actually I might be able to shed some light on this. Like the first thing is the history of Lithuania and its fight for independence. Now, this is actually a very interesting story, right? Lithuania was one of those countries, even since back in the day, they were pretty mighty in Europe. When they kind of established Lithuania, they were so big at one point. They were from all the way from Baltic Sea all the way to the Black Sea. That's how much territory they had, and that was
bring
where
up the map of that area so we can get an idea. Of what
yeah,
we're
and
looking
that
at
was the reason it was that big is because it had to do either with conquering or it had to do with marrying.
Yeah.
They ended up marrying one of the king dukes of Lithuania ends up marrying a Polish queen, and they combined Lithuania and Poland together. So yeah, pull that map up. That won't go up. That one right there. Pull that one up. So this is how big Lithuania used to be. As you can see, the country
that's
is
where multiple
huge.
countries are
It's
now.
multiple countries under Lithuania. That's where Lithuania is right now. And if you go down,
you're talking about it used to stretch all through Poland, Belarus,
all through Poland. Poland was part of it. Belarus was part of it. Ukraine was part of it.
Moldova,
all the way through, all the way to the Black Sea. So if you go down to that other picture, it slowly started. See, this is how big it was. Moldova was not part of it, but that part of Ukraine belonged to Lithuania back in the day because they literally conquered all of that, right?
And what led to it shrinking?
And all the other parts were the influence. Now, what led it to shrink? Because you got to remember, this is back in 1700s or some shit, right? Back in the day, they didn't have radios, they didn't have anything.
No, nothing.
So armies stretch pretty thin.
Pigeons.
So when they're defending this border, the other ones are attacking from the top. So getting the force back to here to defend this border. So what happened? Finally, Prussia, back in the day, which is modern day Germany, Prussia, Russia, and Sweden got together and they slowly chopped up Lithuania. And there were 3 choppings that happened throughout the years. 1, 2, and 3. And now Lithuania, the size of Lithuania, what it is right now, is because of those 3 chops. And then during World War II, Lithuania became part of USSR, which is Soviet Union. Now, this was back in 1989, where United States went basically visit Gorbachev. Gorbachev back in the day was the president,
quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. Well, no, he was the president, but there's a different title for him, right? Because it's a communism, so it was a little bit different. Anyway, so he visits and he goes, "Mr. Gorbachev, break that wall." And he was talking about the Berlin Wall, to break the Berlin Wall and basically unite Germany. When that happened, that back in '89. Lithuania was basically the catalyst for that. So what happened, Lithuania wanted the independence back in '89, and what happened, a bunch of people came out and they kind of were holding hands in solidarity, and they were standing in front of tanks, Russian tanks. And Russian tanks were given an order at all costs, squash this rebellion. And these tanks went over and killed 20-some people. Literally just rode over people, killed them. And that ignited the fire. So Lithuanians took out Russian passports, Russian money. There were blockades and things like that. Nailed them to the telephone posts and things like that, basically saying, "We don't want you." And it completely started going berserk, right? And Lithuania was the first country to get the independence. Poland kind of started back in '79 being Poland kind of started being more against Lithuania, but Lithuania was the first country to get the independence. Now, Poland also was, historically, Poland was the reason World War II started to begin with, because Russia and Germany, under the Mustache Man, could not divide Poland. They divided the rest of the Europe, but they could not come to the conclusion who's going to get Poland. And that's where the fight started, right? So Poland since '79, they're kind of been in the middle, right? They've been the redheaded stepchild for both. Basically what happened, World War II, and then, back in '89, August 23rd, Lithuania got its independence back in '89, and then all the other countries followed suit. Armenia, I think, was like second country or something like that to go right after. Um, and but the Russia was already falling apart because Gorbachev basically dismantled. Gorbachev is known as the one that dismantled the Soviet Union, right? And that was American influence. And the way this happened was the Secretary of Defense I think it was Secretary of Defense that went over to that side and said, "Hey, we'll not push NATO. NATO will not expand in Europe. Go ahead and break that wall." And since then, we've been expanding, right? And this is another crux of where now Putin comes in, where they're like, "Well, we had this agreement back in, '89. What's going on with this, right? Like we stopped the Cold War, we stopped all this, and you promised that you're not going to move on and take more territory as NATO, but yet you're doing that, right?" So he's going back on this, but we all know there's more to it than that, right? Like that's just a excuse, right? So nowadays is resources and territory, right? Like bottom line. So anyway, so that's the story of Lithuania and Lithuanian independence, right? What was this saying?
Is the food over there good?
The food is very hearty food. It's very similar to German food, and it's a mix of different cultures. Remember, because it was part of Soviet Union, they got a little bit of mix of from Armenian food, which is the shish kebabs. Then there's a mix of, remember, back in communist times, getting steak, cow meat, was very difficult. So we did all the shish kebabs with pork because it was much cheaper, right? So shish kebabs, and then the salads and things like that, very similar to Russian. Now there's traditional staples of Lithuanian kitchen that no one else makes but Lithuanians. So one of them is the cepelina.
Is that the chocolate shit your mom makes?
I don't know if she's ever made that. That's called tinginis. It's a cake. Tinginis in translation would be like perizoso.
Yeah, your mom.
After you eat that shit, all you want to do is fucking sleep. It's very rich.
Oh, so I feel like your mom's made that. It's like a
she might have made it.
Thing.
Yeah,
bro, that shit is
badass.
good.
Yeah, it's good.
That shit is good. What is that called, Mickey?
Tinginis. Tinginis
Which
perizoso.
which one are you talking
lazy.
about?
The one you have up right now.
Yeah, that's basically what's called lazy. A person that's lazy, they call the cake lazy cake. You know what I mean? So that
Tinginis.
Tinginis
Bro, your mom's made that. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
She made it in like these little rolls that your brother had, and we would cut them. Oh my god!
Go down, and I'll kind of guide you to the food, right? And then this is bread. It's black bread. That's literally what it is. It's black rye bread. What they do, they'll toast it in an oven first with a little bit of oil on top, and then they take it out and they rub fresh garlic on top. And that becomes your finger food when you're drinking beer. Some people make it super hard. Some people make it only top hard and gooey inside still. Where I prefer and enjoy the gooey inside first because it doesn't fuck up your gums when you eat it, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good... you have to try this. It's very heavy on garlic. Like literally it'll keep the vampires away. You know what I mean? Hours and
I'm sure
even a day
Emily's
after.
gonna like it then.
Yeah. And then varshkeche. Okay, this is kind of like a breakfast meal that you eat with some sort of a jam or some sort of a sweet
like an arepa almost.
Yes, but it's made out of flour and cheese, right?
Okay.
But the cheese is more cottage cheese. It's the farmer's cheese, but you cannot taste it.
Okay.
You cannot taste it. There's maybe a little bit of grittiness in there, but it's good. So keep going down. It's not my favorite.
It's a little bit sugary. It sounds like
it is. It is sweet. Yes, it is sweet. You definitely put jam on top of that.
Oh, yes.
The hotel the hotel we're going to stay at will have these, so you'll get to try these.
Oh, remind me, bro.
They'll have these. They'll matter of fact,
you're not gonna be there, Mickey. So
they'll have.
You're not going to Lithuania.
Matter of fact, they'll have the tinginis as well.
What if I do?
Yeah, go down.
Just to have this shit.
Yeah.
We'll bring you some to France.
Koldune. Okay, Koldune is a traditional. It's across all of Soviet Union. This was popular, and everyone makes them. The filling, it's basically like the pot stickers that we get at the Asian restaurant.
Oh, like gyoza?
Gyoza, exactly. But it is boiled. And the meat inside varies between the countries you go to. It could be chicken, could be beef, it could be pork, it could be a mix of both. It could be veal.
I don't really like the gyoza shit.
Yeah, so you basically, the way you eat it, you boil this, you take them out when they're cooked, and then you put on top the lard.
They got blinchi?
They got something similar to that. This is my favorite. So there's a special technique to take the potato.
How do you say this?
Bline. Bulvine bline. Bulvine means potato. Bline means basically crepes, right?
Okay.
But the way they
Bline.
do this, there's a special way of messing with a potato and shaving the potato on that thing, whatever you call
The
it,
grater.
grater, to get the thinness and thickness of it has to be correct. It's like kind of getting our hash browns, but it's made out of thinner slices of potato. And this thing, when you put that shit in your mouth, it gives you that fresh bread gooiness, where it's just kind of like, and then hard on
I
top,
like
very
hash
gooey
browns.
inside. You throw sour cream on top, and it's one of the best fucking things you'll ever eat. As a little kid, every time they would have this for school for lunch, I would always get these. No questions
But I
asked,
don't
would
like,
always
you know,
get 'em.
how they have like two kinds of hash browns where it's like they're both like they're grated, what you're
Yeah.
talking about, and sometimes they make them to like pucks and
Yes.
then fry the whole thing.
Yes.
Versus like the ones where they have the grated and they make them into like little squares and just pan fry
Yeah.
them. I like the pan fried ones. I don't
Yeah.
like the
These
deep
are all
fried.
pan fried.
Yeah.
These are all
Yeah,
pan fried.
I can tell
Yeah,
it's pan
yeah,
fried
yeah,
by the
yeah,
way
yeah.
it looks.
Yeah. So they make it, see, look at that. Go back up. You see they make potato, they use onion, egg, flour, salt, and black pepper. Very, very basic stuff. As you can see, it's very potato heavy, potato or flour heavy, because winters are
Is it
cold,
like
so
pieces
you
of
need to-
onion inside that you
No, you can't taste the onions.
Okay.
You cannot. Liliputas. This is cheese, I think. Yeah, this is cheese.
Liliputas.
Homemade, semi-hard, naturally
Translation:
wrapped in cheese.
Lily is a bitch.
No, no, Liliputas means a small person. That's basically what this means.
Really?
Yeah, like the small person. I'm just trying to be PC.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like an actual dwarf or whatever
Yeah,
they call it.
mhm.
Yeah.
So go back up.
What is it? The word you're not allowed to say? That one, right?
Yeah, that one. That's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. The M word. Now,
The M word.
yeah, throughout Soviet Union, Lithuania was known for its milk products, which means the cheese, the milk, anything that has to do with milk. They have a
Kind of
great
dairy stuff. Yeah.
Yes, because Lithuania is super green, a lot of rain, and the soil is pretty good to grow very good grass. So these cows eat the good
Gotcha.
grass, fresh grass, so they have very good milk, right? So they've been known for that. This is their traditional staple. It's basically the
Looks like an empanada.
empanada. It's the Lithuanian empanadas, and they're baked, very Argentinian style.
Yeah.
But they're absolutely delicious. If you get them, they're one of the best things you can eat, and we'll get them. And the city that makes the best is Trakai, which is about 30 miles away from Vilnius. One of the best ones. This is weird. It's sausage, but it has the big chunks of fat in it, right? When you
Oh.
cut it, type that in a Google, so it gives you a cross section of it. It's not my favorite because of the fat, right? But people love this. It's a traditional. Yeah, see, like these chunks are the chunks of fat.
It's just
No, go
fucking
back,
ham, bro.
go down
It's
a little
it's
bit.
like-
Go down a little bit. Down there. That right there. Click that. This is it. This is traditional skilanda. See the chunks of fat in there?
Huge.
Huge chunks of fat, right?
It's like some bologna or some shit.
It's
Not
more than
bologna,
that.
it's
It's
like a ham.
smoked. It's smoked. They do a lot of smoked meats, a lot of sausage, a lot of fish, freshwater fish, especially eel. Smoked eel. If we get a chance to eat smoked eel over there, bro, it's one of the best things you'll ever taste. Like as
I'm
far as
looking at
smoked
Eddie's
fish goes.
face like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Dude.
Yeah, smoked
You
fish is
fucking
very,
weirdo.
very
I've
good
never
over there.
been a fan of how eel looks. I know that makes me sound like a picky
You
little
won't need
bitch,
to-
but it's
Go
always
do
been.
smoked Lithuanian eel. You won't know because it's cut that way. It's cut into chunks, so you'll never see the whole thing, right?
It's just like eating Spanish mackerel, bro. That's all.
Yeah, like 10 times better. So this is how they smoke them. There's cold and hot smoking, and then they slice them, they chop them up into pieces, and this is absolutely delicious, right? One of the best things you'll eat as well. As far as the smoked fish goes by itself, right? Like, okay, go back to the normal. Let's continue with.
Yeah, I don't know about this, Jay.
Yeah, go. Let's continue with the thing. I think your dad would enjoy this. No,
Yeah, I think
no,
my
no. Go
dad
back
would
to the
enjoy
food. Let's go through the food completely. Okay, so tsepeline. It's another traditional Lithuanian dish. It is potato. They use a special machine.
A lot of potatoes, huh?
It's very potato heavy because remember winters are heavy and cold, so they need a lot of calories to go through the winter. Especially with the back in the day, people
and
working.
They need vodka.
Yes, and the shit on top, it's got sour cream on a side to the right. See that white gooey thing? It's the sour cream. And that little chunks are actual sauteed pig fat that they put on top.
That's a baked potato.
That's a baked potato.
No. The little chunks is sauteed
Yeah,
pig
back
fat.
bacon.
Bacon. But The shell itself is potato. Inside of it is meat. They use a special machine to get the consistency of the potato correct, and then they do it all by hand.
Sounds
So
like a extreme baked potato.
it's boiled. It is not baked. It's boiled. It comes out. They do cut them in half and saute them as well, but this is boiled. It's very filling. If you eat more than two, if you can eat more than two, bro, I'll shake your hand. This thing filling as hell. Balandele, this is just instead of stuffed grapes, it's stuffed cabbage. Again, this is across the board. They all have them. Keep going down. That's it.
Yeah.
So these are, as you can see, then they have a bunch of salads and things like that. Then there's a specific cake that they make, which is a very interesting way, the way they do it.
Apple cheese.
Apple cheese, I've never had this before. These are all like, these are more rare shit that they put on there just to say that, oh, we know more stuff about it. Like you're not gonna find fucking apple cheese anywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's just not something that everybody eats. Like you go back again. Yeah, so let me see.
Damn, bro, you made me want some of that. Miggy, you made me want some of that shit. The first thing we saw, what was it called again? No, it wasn't on this list, but it was when you looked up Lithuanian food. It was that picture of the chocolate. Yeah, bro, that shit right there.
They'll have that. No, go back up. Go back up.
Oh, that's just so good.
Go back up. Up, a little bit. No, a little bit up.
Miguel, imagine.
That. See that cake that looks like a Christmas tree?
Which one?
The Christmas tree thingy. It's like a baked Christmas tree. Yeah. So this is only done during Christmas time. You see that big hole in the middle? Why? Because it's a big pipe. And the way this works, they literally drizzle the dough on top, and it just kind of drizzles over and makes these naturally as this thing spins, and it cooks in wood fire.
Interesting.
Right. So, but these are all dry desserts. Lithuanians are not known for having juicy desserts. Majority of the desserts are more drier.
That looks like it would fuck your mouth up.
It doesn't. It's soft enough. It's very sweet. It's very eggy. They use a lot of egg. So, but it's not nasty eggy, but it is
I get what
if
you're
it's
saying.
done right. So go through the pictures down right here, and if I can pick something out interesting, I'll let you know. But that's basically the gist of it. As you can see, the same pictures kind of repeat themselves because that's the staple
Is that
of the
stuff
kitchen.
easy to make? The cake, chocolate cake dough?
It is easy to make, very easy to make actually. Yeah, it's just
so Miguel,
cookies
imagine if it was like imagine they have like a chocolate fudge almost basically.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's not very sweet, not very chocolatey, right? It's pretty like
because
tolerable.
they use cocoa. It's not chocolate.
Yeah.
They use cocoa to make.
So and then have those little pieces of like white. It looks like it's almost like cake. Like pieces of cake inside the fudge. It's so good.
And it's not cake. These are hard cookies. What happens?
Yeah.
The moisture comes through the cookie and it becomes cakey, right?
Yeah.
So, so we go down.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So that
They're
thing is
actually,
called
like, hard cookies.
vedare. Go back up. See that thing looks like a sausage? That's actually intestines that are stuffed with potato. The same type of potatoes they make the ceppeline.
I don't
do
like anything that has to do with like intestines. And tripe and stomach. And,
and that soup, they eat that in no those waffles. There's more that soup with the egg inside. You see that soup with the egg inside? You eat that cold. It's made with buttermilk, and this is more of a summer soup. And those boiled potatoes, you throw the potatoes inside and you eat it that way. It's a refreshing soup for summer.
I can't imagine what my shit would look like after eating that.
Yo, Eddie, what are you gonna?
You blow up.
Eddie, what are you gonna eat for breakfast?
Definitely not that.
Potatoes.
It's radish.
What are you gonna eat for lunch?
Potatoes.
Yeah, it's radish. It's radish that's been through grater
what are you
inside
getting for dinner?
Potatoes.
potato. Yeah, it's a big, heavy potato influenced kitchen. Hearty food, natural food. As a matter of fact, next door to the hotel, they have the best restaurant for that type of food.
Mm-hmm.
We can go there for either lunch or dinner or whatever you want, guys, and we'll just order a bunch of shit and everybody gets to try everything. You know what I mean?
What other than food? What else is there to do
In Lithuania?
Yeah.
So the cool part about Lithuania, because it's a European country, you're gonna have a lot of castles. There are castles to see, and these castles have been renovated for you to go in. They actually have the weapons and the gear that they wore. In the middle of the city, they have their castle as well that we can go see. It's just walking distance. And then the old city, they've preserved the old city like it was back in the days. right? It's not the center of the town, but that's what it is. There's a center of the town, and there's the old city. So old city, when you go, it's the cobble roads, very tiny. They don't really let any traffic through. Very beautiful buildings, old school buildings. And Lithuania has one of the oldest universities in northeastern Europe. So we'll get to walk around the territory of the university, and on top of that, they have a lot of churches, and it's Lithuanian Vilnius, just like Lithuania, just like any other European country, went through Baroque, Renaissance. So you have all those buildings. You know what I mean? So you can see all that. When Baroque is more like heavy, big buildings, and Renaissance was more like reaching to the sky, tall, skinny buildings. So you'll see all that shit. So we'll go through it. We'll walk around.
I can't wait to be able to like take my camera and take pictures. Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And the
fun.
cool part about it is, just like any other European city, it's small. You can walk all that, no problem, from our hotel, and it's not gonna take like more than 30 minutes to get where you need to go walking, and that's taking our time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's small.
Yeah.
I'm gonna propose a challenge here. You need to take a picture for me, and I gotta take a picture for you. That's gotta be like a bucket list shot. Like, it's gotta be like a nice shot.
Shit, I don't know.
You'll have plenty of
Something-
opportunities.
Something that you could hang up on top of the desk.
Yeah, you'll have
And
plenty
I'm
of.
talking about like a big picture. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
like a little I love my girlfriend picture. I'm talking about
And not far away from where we're staying, I think they converted one of the
I feel
old school
personally
Russian.
attacked there, man.
Well, not far away from where we're staying, they converted one of the old school Russian prisons into a bar.
Is car culture a thing there at all?
Car culture is big there, but the
Really?
car culture is more German cars, right? And
Right. It's
people
Europe.
don't really
Europe,
tune
yeah.
them, but they'll buy like a GTI or a BMW. They're like, the way the car comes, that's
Yeah.
big, Every young kid always wants a BMW 325, or if they can afford the 350, they'll get the 350, or the I's.
335.
335s or whatever, And the Golf is big.
Fucking Volkswagen.
VW Volkswagen is big, man. Somebody has a Golf and it's a GTI.
I want to talk. I would love to see like what the European standpoint of Volkswagen is, because like here, as a car culture, looks at Volkswagen like shit here. Like it's just so badly.
No,
made.
they love that. They love that over there. This is what you're going to be surprised by. You will see more Porsches. Now, I'm talking about more 911s than anywhere else you've seen
Really?
before. I don't know from where. There's more Bentleys there. There's more Porsches.
I'm
more.
excited to take my camera then because
Yes,
I
and
love
just randomly
Porsches.
people drive these. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. As a
I
matter of
wonder
fact,
what like the price is compared.
Mustangs, Corvettes, Camaros, you see them too.
Oh, domestic car,
Yeah.
like a domestic
American
cars here.
domestics, yeah.
How about Japanese? No, none.
Japanese, no, not so much. It's
Yeah.
more German. It's basically German and American.
American.
Japanese are not that. They don't.
They hate it, huh?
They hate it. They don't. They don't think of
Respect
them
it,
as
yeah.
respected. Nothing like that. Yeah, no. The only Japanese cars you'll
Best
see is
cars
the
ever made. No matter fucking
Toyota
Japan,
Prius,
bro.
and
Come
they'll
on.
drive you around in as a taxi in them. Toyota Prius is it. You know what I mean?
Is it? It's just because it's a
Yeah.
economical.
Now they do have Japanese cars there. They do.
But it's not like the hype of
no,
like,
no,
car
no, not like
culture.
us. No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, not at all.
Do you
so-
think that's like a cultural thing, or because of like how we fall like geographically with them and everything?
It's just a cultural thing.
Cultural thing.
It's just culture does not respect Japanese cars at all. You know what I mean? Because they respect German engineering. Germany's right there next
Yeah,
door.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just
That's
natural.
how it works,
Yeah,
yeah.
just how it
Right.
works.
Let's move on a
In
little bit.
Italian, probably like Ferrari.
Let's
and
fast
shit
forward
Like
a little
Yeah.
bit in the trip.
Yep, exactly.
Paris.
All right, so what we got on Paris?
Paris, France. So we got. See, this is my kind of only speculation about going to Paris. Is everyone talks about French food, right, being the best food in the world, right?
I want to have some more snacks.
There's actually a famous like conversation where it's that guy Gordon Ramsay and the French chef that's like really famous, and they're going back and forth like who's got the better food, this and that, and the French dude's like, "Come on, English food sucks."
It does.
And he's
English
like-
food sucks hands down.
And the English dude goes, Gordon goes like, "Well, where are all the best restaurants in the world?" And he's like, "In UK." And he's
Yeah.
like, well, what are they? They're French.
Yeah. Yeah, so France is interesting because France, no matter what restaurant you enter, you're getting a fucking service like you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a side road, on a highway restaurant. You're getting basically damn near white glove service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the food is
Are you
excellent
talking
no
about
matter where. And
specifically-
it's cheap.
Specifically in France?
Specifically in France, yes. Paris is known as the cultural center of basically anything that has to do with fashion and food, right? So there's gonna be ton of restaurants, good restaurants to eat, where to eat. Now, here's the funny thing. There's a saying among French, right? People come to see the Eiffel Tower, but yet they see everything else but the Eiffel Tower. What happens? People will go and they're like, Eiffel Tower, let's climb to the Eiffel Tower. And you climb the Eiffel Tower and you're looking at everything else but the Eiffel Tower, right?
What do you mean?
So when you're in France, you approaching the Eiffel Tower, you see the Eiffel Tower, right? Then you climb up and you see the rest of the France, but you don't see the Eiffel Tower itself.
Yeah, because you're on it.
Yeah, but there is a cheat code to this. There's the Arc de Triomphe, which you can also climb, and it's also 360 view. From there, you can see the tower really well. But not a lot of people climb the Eiffel Arc de Triomphe because it's not known. Eiffel Tower is more known. So they'll go to the Eiffel Tower and climb up the Eiffel Tower. In Eiffel Tower,
that's not my issue because I didn't really have the expectation of climbing the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, me neither.
I just want to take a picture of the Eiffel Tower and people around the Eiffel Tower.
The problem with Eiffel Tower is you have to buy a ticket. And when you buy a ticket, you wait in line. It's kind of like Busch Gardens. You need the fast pass if you want to get the shit done quickly, right? And it's going to cost money. I don't know what the price is. But in Eiffel Tower, there's a restaurant. The name of the restaurant is Jules Verne. When Trump went there, he met the prime minister in this restaurant, Jules Verne, which is a Michelin star restaurant. Like, we're talking about $1,000 a person. You know what I mean? So you can get something for like 10 euros and you can get something that goes $1,000 a person, right? Extremely expensive. And you have to book it ahead of time because they get filled very quickly. The reservations right now are not open for September. Let's just give you that idea. I think they go only to July. So if you click on that, maybe it'll show you when you can book. So go, what's the furthest date they can book? Go past April. Yeah, just keep going. Let's see if they've opened that past July. Yep. So June is the last. Now, and see those where it says, like, it's got the little circles? That's booked. I don't think you can book anything there. Yeah, there's no reservations.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah. So now you can only book for those days. So just to give you an idea, and these are only like very specific times that you can book it at, right? Like the minute this opens, these get filled up immediately. But this is a Michelin star restaurant, beautiful views.
If you were to go eat at a Michelin star restaurant, what if you had to pick one style? Let's say you only had to get to pick. What would it be? Like
Asian.
I
think it just hits the entire tongue way differently. I would go. There's one restaurant that I always wanted to go to, and it's in Peru. And the guy is autistic, and his sister runs the business part of it. He cooks, and the way they had it set up in Peru is every course that comes to your table is X elevation of the country, and they use the products from that specific elevation of the country. So it starts on the bottom of the sea, slowly climbs up to the shore, and then goes up the mountains. And they use specific foods from that elevation to create the dishes.
That's fucking
and the
cool.
food looks exactly what it would look like in nature.
Okay, I get what you're saying. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that would be the one that I would always want to go and visit, right?
And this is a Michelin star restaurant in Peru.
Mm-hmm. And the French cuisine is very stuffy, just like French people, right? Everything is very, you know, like that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's there, like, sitting and doing their thing. French are the only ones, I think, that still have that thing where they cook the fish in front of you and then just kind of like fillet it right in front of you, the whole fish without any bones or anything. Just they're the only ones. That's like only 1 or 2 restaurants left in the world that do that. It's a lost art for somebody to know how to properly do that. So
I think in Japan they have restaurants like that where they like take the fish and like fillet it in front of you and do all that stuff.
That's raw fish. I'm talking about cooked fish. Cooked fish that comes into the table and they literally take special spoons and knives and they go around the bones and take out the fillet part of the fish and stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And as you can see, the prices, Miggy, are you checking them out?
These are the prices for like the Eiffel Tower 2nd floor with a glass of champagne. Guided tour in English to the 2nd floor.
And that's the best way to do it, is the guided tour, because then you don't wait. All right?
Let me see here if I can check to the summit.
Yeah. That's probably going to be more, and guided tour is going to be the fastest way to go around it.
A bit more expensive.
Yeah, double the price. You
Top
know,
floor
and they're all
bottle
booked.
this, glass of champagne.
And they're all booked for that day, right? So it gives you an idea how quickly they fill up. So that's basically the French. Now I have this thing. Y'all know I love perfumes and colognes, and I'm gonna try to get a perfume and cologne in each country we come in on a first day, and I'm gonna try to wear that specific one throughout the entire time we're there. So
I want to do some shopping in Paris.
yeah, that's cool.
That's
We
what I
can do
want
it.
to do.
And what specifically though?
Whatever I can find, something cool, you know. Yeah,
There's a
I mean,
lot of cool shit there,
apparently,
bro.
that's one of the big tips when you go to France. I mean, you're going to the fashion capital of
Yeah.
the world, so you might as well go and pick up something.
So remember, everything you see here. So let's say a Louis Vuitton shoes here cost $1,000. Over there is going to be 700, because there's a import tax that's added, like 30% import tax
Right.
on these
Luxury
goods, on
items,
luxury items. Over there, whatever you buy, you're going to pay tax. But then when you get to the airport, you tell them that you ask them in a store to give you the special check.
The tax receipt. Yeah.
You get the tax.
Taxes back at the
Correct.
airport. Yeah,
At
because
the
you're a
airport.
foreigner. You shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Correct, and you get so basically you end up getting like pair of Louis Vuitton shoes for $500 as opposed to paying $1,200 here.
Might see me coming back in some little red bottoms or something.
Yeah, yeah. Louis Vuittons.
But I mean, I don't know. To be honest, there's nothing that really excites me about France to go there.
It's a
I've
different
never-
experience.
I've never been like.
just the sightseeing
Dude, the
and then
pictures are gonna be crazy. The
Yeah.
fucking like the architecture. I don't know why. I'm an architecture guy for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Like,
see, I'm not. When it comes to photos, I'm more of like a moment kind of person. Like I like to capture the moment.
Well, the thing
do
with-
you know how many moments are gonna be in a fucking cool ass alleyway that
Champs-Élysées-
you'll get to see here? very often?
Champs-Élysées is like one of the main things there. But so the problem with Paris is everything is so spread out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you visiting Eiffel Tower, it might take you like an hour just to get to the other location. And to
Right.
get to the other location, they're all like spread out throughout the entire city. Now, bus passes or train passes or, taxis, whatever.
Yeah.
Are we gonna be testing out the nightlife and all the different?
I'm
places?
down for that. Of course, I'm down for
See,
that.
that is actually what I was gonna say. When it comes to photography and like architecture, that's the only one that I've seen that kind of interests me. Is like nightlife photography. When these guys, like, for example, there's a lot of pictures.
Lighting up the fucking churches.
Yeah,
and
where
shit.
or like in Japan, you know how the streets are always full of like all these different neon signs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Guys take pictures of at night of all those
Yeah.
signs. That to me is like really.
French
fucking
is
cool.
gonna be more the other side where it's not gonna be like neon signs. It's gonna be lit up beautiful fountains like that are dating back
Yeah,
600-700 years.
in a daylight sense. They try and light it back up with natural light.
And it looks really good.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
really
I get what
good,
you're saying.
Yeah, so France is something to see. Even at nighttime, if we just walk around the France
Mhm.
and try to take pictures, there's going to be plenty, instead of, let's say, going to the nightclubs or bars. But that culture is big. Everybody drinks fucking wine over there. Everybody
My
smokes cigarettes,
type
and
of
everybody
people.
have fucked up teeth.
I don't know about cigarettes, but wine, sure. Let's have some.
Yeah,
All right, go next.
that's another thing I'm worried about Europe is alcohol for me because I don't like whiskey. I know they're not gonna have like good
Yeah.
rum, and so I was thinking like, okay, what like tequila would probably be like my most hopeful thing, but I know it's far as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so. Remember, European, like wines and whiskey, anything European is not gonna have the parabens in it and all that shit. It's not gonna give you the heartburn. It's not gonna give you the headaches.
I'm
it's not gonna give
23
you any
years
of
old.
that
That
shit.
shit doesn't.
Yeah. So
That's not what I look for in alcohol.
yeah, I think once you get there, you'll be surprised. I think I'll be surprised myself. The stuff that I will drink and enjoy, or eat and enjoy. I think I'm gonna go there with an open mind and like just try things, even
Yeah.
though if it's something that I would never touch, But I know for a fact that my brother, when he was up in Europe, and that's all he was doing is drinking whiskey in Barcelona, which is unheard of. They all drink fucking wine there, and he was the only one that was drinking whiskey, right? So it's possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
So-
they always will bring Coca-Cola to cut the flavor.
Is it weird to me? Is it weird that I'm saying like the place I'm most excited about is Lithuania?
No, because I think the family and everybody together, and then you're gonna have multiple guides where they're gonna be like, don't worry about this, let's worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this, let's worry about that. Here's this restaurant, because it's gonna be more like hand-picked. I'm gonna give you the culture within a couple of days, as quick as possible, cram it all in once,
Yeah.
and you're gonna experience all of what you need
You're
to
gonna be
experience right away.
dancing at the end of the night.
Huh?
He's gonna be dancing at the end of the night.
Yeah.
too.
Nightclubs-
He's getting dance lessons.
I'm not too sure about the nightclubs. I've gone to a couple of them. They're okay. I'll contact a friend of mine. She'll let me know which ones are better to go to. If
I
you
feel
are
like
one of the
nightclubs is not gonna be our thing because the music is just not gonna.
Yeah, well, you'll be surprised because it's more of like it's not a nightclub type of scene. They do have nightclubs, but their thing is more like sitting out in the cafes at night, drinking, having fun, doing food. You know, just kind of chilling and people
So is
watching.
it like you're talking about like a more of like a place that doesn't have the music blasting where you can still talk? And,
Yeah.
Okay, I like those.
That's exactly what it is. Where your dad would be smoking cigarettes, would be laughing, sitting at the table.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. You know what I mean? Nightclubs are not that big, and then if you do go to a nightclub, I think then they have a couple of rooftops. This hotel we're staying, they're gonna have a badass rooftop with a bar in there that you can see everything. So we can always go up there and have some drinks and chill and hang out and talk and
Okay.
whatever.
Nice.
And the thing is, in the nightclubs, I think the way they have it, when you walk in and whatever amount of money you pay to walk in, that's actually your starting amount to get the drinks. They give you these tickets, you hand that in, and they give you that amount of in drinks. So natural, like if you don't want to spend any money, they'll just take the money because you entered the nightclub. But if you're entering the nightclub and you're going to drink, they use that as a form of payment for your first drink.
Yeah, because
basically.
you use your deposit.
Yeah, they use your deposit basically. All right, Mickey, move on to the next country. What do we got next?
Spain.
Spain.
I'm excited about Spain because I'm gonna be in a country where I can talk to people.
Take that with a grain of salt.
Well,
Because the way they talk, bro.
yeah, it's different dialect, but it's
Yeah.
still the same language. Dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I know your sister was
That's
saying
just like, us going to fucking Alabama where they
Yeah.
speak with a crazy like
I'm
you know
gonna
that
have fun
Russian,
with it because
not
when
Russian,
I
but
was-
that Southern. You know,
When I was growing up, that's what I would watch. I would watch Spanish people. Like
I've seen La
on
Casa de
YouTube.
Papel. I can talk to him. I can talk to him.
Yeah.
I've watched La
Because
Casa
I know
de
your
Papel.
sister was saying like sometimes she would have hard times. I'll tell him like slow down. What are you saying? Because I don't
Yeah.
understand what the hell you're saying to me.
I will say because I've been around so many different Hispanic
Dialects.
cultures and dialect, I feel like I have a little bit of a step up on the average Spanish speaker because of like being able to understand, right? So like working in construction, I figured out how to understand Mexicans.
Yeah.
You know, with being around,
Nuggets is
What's
here.
up, Nugs?
Nuggets.
he's just over there bored. So I've learned to understand Cuban. Cubans is hard, like especially old Cubans. It's hard. It's hard. Puerto Ricans is not so difficult. It's pretty similar to like, it doesn't sound similar to Dominicans, but in the sense of like the way it rolls, it kind of is like easier to pick up, almost like a Dominican. I feel like I have a little bit of a step up on average as a Spanish speaker because of that. Like I can pick up what people are saying very easy. I know how to decipher words when they're said a little differently or mixed together with other words, which we do that a lot.
Yeah. So I think in Spain, the coolest part for me in Spain is gonna be like walking around and just trying different shit everywhere. Like tiny
So
little.
food wise, I think Spain is the one that excites me the most.
Because it's all tapas, right?
I love tapas places.
Yeah.
And
every place is a tapas place.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
I
mean?
love tapas places. Like we have ceviche downtown. When we were in Vegas, that place we went to, that
Yeah.
shit was fucking
Badass,
good.
Yeah.
That shit was really good.
And the majority of the bars, it's all like standing. You come in, you stand. Like
Yeah.
you get your drink, and they'll give you like tapas just because you're drinking.
Yeah.
And it's up to them. They basically pick whatever they're gonna give you. You know what I mean? You can't really pick and choose. You can't give
Yeah.
it back. It's what you got. You gotta
And they
eat
give
that.
you basically like that
Yeah.
charcuterie board, and
Yeah.
it's just got a bunch
No,
of
just-
different like cut up meats. And
No,
stuff
no,
like
they
that.
won't give you the charcuterie board. They'll give you a little plate of, let's say, olives with some octopus, or they'll give you a little plate with like peppers, or they'll give you a little plate.
You know what I always like? They make, which Cubans make too, is you don't find it all over. Croquetas.
Croquetas, they have those.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
do
do.
make those.
They make them very good.
Yeah. Now they do have restaurants where you can sit down and get actually what you want, but the majority of tapas places is basically just bring a bunch of stuff to you.
Coffee in Europe is the best. Well, we're gonna have to see. I lately I've kind of been able to, because Emily's got that nice coffee machine, and I've been drinking that shit every once in a while. She makes coffee at least like two times a week in the
I think
morning.
what he's talking about, you know how here we have Starbucks?
Yeah,
Over there, Starbucks is considered garbage.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Starbucks would be like same thing as if I put in a
What do they
not
know?
necessarily
They
like
drink
Wawa's
tea.
coffee. In England, they do. In England, they drink
In
tea.
England,
Yeah.
they drink tea.
And I wouldn't necessarily say Wawa's coffee, like a step above, but below Dunkin' Donuts. That's
Yeah.
what Starbucks is considered over there.
Oh shit, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and everybody has little cafeterias where you could just sit down and drink your coffee and just chill. and nobody's shooing you away. You can be there just with one cup of coffee for 4 fucking hours, and people will come around if you need anything, and they will not bother you if you're having a conversation, whatever. That's the difference
But
about.
lately I've been drinking that coffee, and then I'll have coffee other places, and I can tell the difference in quality, like the actual quality of the coffee itself.
Yeah.
There's a difference in taste, like how bitter it is, and all
Well,
that
this
shit.
it has to do with the roast, the way they. If it's Arabica, it's a little more dense and little.
But I feel like it also has something to do with like the machines they use and stuff like that.
The machines and most of the flavor of the coffee comes from the way they're roasted.
Yeah.
And the roasting of the coffee will give you a specific flavor. That's why you have the Colombiano, you have the Arabica, you have all these types of coffee.
Yeah.
If you know which coffee you like, if you know which type of coffee you like, and if you get that specific type of coffee in France or somewhere in Europe, you might end up saying, "Holy shit!" Now, with that being said, if you like Colombian coffee, you should drink Colombian coffee in Colombia, and then you should drink Arabic coffee in any of the Arab countries,
yeah.
right? So. But you're gonna get pretty close.
Give me
with
Dunkin'
quality.
any day. Fuck Dunkin'. Dunkin' sucks. Dunkin's coffee and all their drinks, bro. My issue with Dunkin' is consistency. When I try something and the next time I go to get it again, I want it to be the fucking same. And you don't get that from Dunkin'.
No.
These motherfuckers mix it and make it however the fuck they want and being lazy and quick about it. Trust me, I know someone who worked at Dunkin'. They don't give a fuck.
Now, one thing I'm excited about Spain, they have oxtail, this specific oxtail stew that's basically encompassed in this like dough, and then they hand it to you. So you get like the bread. It's almost like a bread bowl, but a miniature version of it that still has the juices and oxtail in it. I'm excited to try
Hey,
that.
you know
to
what I
see
just
how
thought
much
of?
I
Are
like
there
that.
any-
Spain known for pork, right?
Pork? They're known for pork, specifically for
So-
jamón, which is their
Yeah.
leg.
They're
And
very known
specifically
for
the
that jamón ibérico shit. Yeah.
Iberico shit, yeah.
And then also they're very known for, like, for example, things like paella is known in
That's
Spain.
fire.
Paella and seafood, basically seafood areas of Spain. You know,
Mhm.
anything that has a coast will have that. One time they gave me straight milk. And
This is
caramel
what I'm
palm
talking about, bro.
Dunkin', no espresso.
This is what I'm talking about. Dunkin' is trash and compared to Starbucks. Starbucks is way more consistent. That's exactly what I'm saying. I hate the inconsistency.
What does he say? Copy Luwak knows what?
I don't know. Copy Luwak. I don't know what that means. It's probably trying
Ozzy,
to say.
give us a little more details on what does that mean. What is that?
Also known
I
as
know what he's
civet
talking
coffee.
about. This is the coffee that the little animal eats and then shits
The
out.
monkey
This
shit?
is considered, yeah. It's not a monkey. It's like
I
an
thought it was a
opossum.
monkey.
No, it's like an opossum looking animal.
Civet.
Civet, yeah. And they shit it out, and that's considered the best coffee. And you can get it. I think it's in Burma or some shit. Like it's in Asian
I
country.
was watching. Have you seen that? You heard about the new show Reacher that they have about that?
Yeah,
from
I
the
haven't
book
watched
Jack
it.
Reacher.
Yeah.
Okay, so and he's like in a rich dude's house, and he asks for coffee, and after he's drinking it, the lady starts telling him. He goes, "Yeah, apparently the best coffee is the one the animals shit out." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
a little animal somewhere like
There's
shit
shit like
out,
the-
and dig out the coffee beans, and that's what that coffee's made out."
Yeah,
of.
the bacteria
He's
inside
like,
the stomach like
At least
digests the
he
coffee.
He
yeah.
goes, "At least it's good," and he
Yeah.
keeps drinking it.
Yeah.
Now the way we get this type of coffee, not only is it fucked up in the sense, but the way it's given to the animals also a bit fucked up too.
They're forced to eat it.
Yeah, they're
Viet-
stuffing the fucking coffees down their throat. Like, get in there.
So look, Vietnamese companies sell an imitation of Copa Luwak made using an enzyme soak, which they claim replicates the civet digestive process. Again, that's some fake shit that they do, synthetic way of doing it. Getting the proper one is extremely, extremely fucking expensive because there's not
Selling
it's
between
$500 per
$220 and $1,100 per kilogram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In 2010, the price paid for collectors in Philippines closer to $20 per kilogram. This special Vietnamese vessel coffee, $500 per kilogram.
Yeah. It's not a cheap thing to get, that's for sure, And then so we'll see. No, he said Mike, cappuccino are big in Italy and Europe in general. Yes, I do agree. They're the best. Yeah, cappuccinos are pretty big.
So what is the difference? Cappuccino, latte. I know frappuccino is the fucking like
Cappuccino is basically the coffee, and then they add that frothed milk on top. I think that's the cappuccino.
Latte is basically just coffee and milk.
Milk, yeah. And then you have the short, long, because espressos over there are like Cuban espressos. They're short,
Very small,
unless
yeah.
you get a double espresso. You know what I mean? But Italy's big on espressos and all the cappuccinos
Yeah.
and lattes. Uh, those are big in Italy. In French, you can get, but anywhere in Europe is gonna be fucking like they have the gigantic machines that they actually clean, and those motherfuckers work. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not like here the fucking cappuccino machine is broken because half the time it's not broken. I'm gonna give out some sauce to you guys. Every time you go to a restaurant and they say cappuccino machine is broken, it's not.
It's just
What they
dirty.
just don't want to fucking clean it. That's what it is. It's not dirty. It's clean. They just don't want to make the cappuccino and then clean the fucking machine because it's a process, right? But over there, they take pride in what they do, so they're gonna give you the cappuccino, even though if you're the only one that orders it, but you're not. So they're cranking them out every 5 seconds, right? So
And then we got Italia.
Italy. Italy is basically the pasta and pizza capital of the world. That's at least what it's known for. But that's just like a fucking 10% of their kitchen. They're known like they have other shit that we don't even like taste.
Very
you know what I mean?
I
excited.
can't wait
for
to
the
try
pizza.
pizza there.
I'm very excited.
I want
for
to
the
try pizza
Yeah.
from where it fucking came
And
from.
pizza is different. Depends what part of Italy you're like.
Right.
Napolitan pizza different from Roman
I really
pizza
like
from Sicilian pizza.
margarita.
Margarita. Yeah, margarita is pretty good. And
I know it's it's not even said margarita. It's something else, but yeah,
Yeah.
basically looks like the word margarita.
Yeah. So the pizza over there is different. You'll get weird pizzas there. You'll get pizzas with egg on top and like all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? So that's the American pizza margarita, right? Like this is a typical Italian way of doing it, where it's like not blobbered with cheese. It's just like a couple of pieces of mozzarella, some basil, and tomato sauce, and
I didn't
And
realize
bread.
how much I like basil on pizza.
it's pretty good.
Very
Yeah, the
good.
motherfuckers knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
shit looks good, dog. That shit
oregano
looks
is big
good.
in Italy. You know, is the spice. You know, they use that.
Yeah, espresso machine prices, bro. The
Yeah.
one that like my sister and Emily has, that shit's like $1,000.
And they're not even considered that,
Yeah,
right? Like they
no.
even,
They're not even one of the higher ones.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like the just getting into like the premium stuff. But yeah, espresso machines can be extremely.
But the newest
extremely
thing's been
expensive.
that like hand pushed espresso shit, which
Mhm.
nobody ever fucking does. Look at this shit. You paying $3,000 for a machine that you have to fucking hand push and
Yeah,
make
you
your own
gotta
coffee
prep
with.
the puck yourself. Do all the things. This doesn't even grind it for you.
No, yeah,
you gotta
no.
grind like everything.
It's pressures and all. Anyway, this is
Emily's the one Emily and my sister have is kind of like the do it all.
yeah.
Like it does it
Right
all
there.
at
It's
a
right there.
basic.
It was right. It was on that other picture when Mickey had it.
I think it's a Philips one.
Now, Italy, Rome. Rome is going to be interesting just because I think we're going to see everything. And what they did, they were preparing for 2025. They were going to having some sort of a festival, which I was afraid that they're not going to be done, but it appears
Are
that
we
they're
going
done.
to Rome? Is that where we're going?
Yes, we're going to Rome. Yeah, we're going to do Rome for sure. There's a lot of shit to see in Rome. You know, like this would be cool to see where these fucking, what's his name? My name is Maximus Aurelius, the leader of the legions. You know what I mean? Where he fought. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Trying to see that.
I saw the guy. What's his name? Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
the guy that played him. He said that he was somewhere, and he went to go pay for a bill, and the guy told him, "Was like I don't know what the quote from the movie is, but it's like." The king of Rome never pays here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
so there's gonna be cool to see all of this. Like, click that middle picture. Go back. Click that middle picture. Yeah, like that fountain is extremely, extremely popular.
We've seen this at Vegas, bro.
Yeah, well, no, we haven't seen it until we see it. Actually, Italy makes shit ton of money by people throwing coins into that fountain. It's very known to throw a coin in there, and apparently, whatever wish you have comes true when you throw the coin in there.
Yeah, Phillips. It's a Phillips coffee
So
maker.
have all the other fountains I've thrown a fucking quarter into.
So far, any of the fountains I've thrown coins into, in Czech Republic, there was this bridge. You get to, in the middle of the bridge, there's a plaque of a dog. You get to pet the dog and say what you want. Both times I've been there, both times I petted the dog, both wishes came true. I don't know. Call it superstition, but that shit works.
Superstition.
Superstition. Superstition, but that shit works, right? Yeah. So
You got it. You got it.
so Venice is there as well, right? So that'd be cool to see that because it's very small, right? Like the Venice is a 1 day thing.
I just hope that in any of the places that we go to at one point we're on the water. I'd like to be able to like see that.
Well, in France, we can take a boat ride that's also does a dinner. It's a super scenic, beautiful boat ride on a river. So,
You have a little French mommy with you,
um, no,
no? We're going to Lithuania first, so you'll grab one of your roster hoes in Lithuania and just take her with
Yeah.
us the rest of the places. It's
no,
smart that way.
yeah, I guess. So we'll see how how that all works out. But yeah, if you see like you see how like how spread out these are, like see
All the places from each other.
like
Yeah.
super spread out, and same thing.
I mean,
with
we are talking about a
France.
whole country here.
Whole city. We haven't even touched the country, right? And I think my brother wanted to do he wanted to do like um another city
This
maybe.
man picked the most
Graffiti
bland.
graffiti is big in Europe. It's huge. Graffiti is huge. Like you would picture like New York graffiti, that's in every major city, man.
Yeah.
Every major city. Like that Alexander bar, you'll walk in, probably have the best time of your life, have the best fucking food. And it's in the middle of
How's
nowhere.
the crime in like Lithuania, for example?
Lithuania is pretty chill. It's more fighting, less stabbings and shootings. Where in Europe, where like France and Italy is more like I say Italy is more petty crimes, meaning like pickpocketing and shit like that. Any of the tourist places you can have more pickpocketing and stuff.
Yeah.
And Lithuania is more fighting, but you know, it's kind of
I'm gonna need
cleaned
to
up.
get me a
It's
good.
kinda
I'm gonna
cleaned
need
up.
to get me a good camera strap.
Yeah. And then you want to carry your bag in the front. You don't want to carry it in the back.
Kind
Or
of thing.
or just have a fanny pack in the front. You know what I mean? And when there's super tight, always have your hands in your
close
pockets.
to your pockets.
Yeah, if there's stuff in your pockets or right on top of your, just want to make sure like, just things like have your head on a swivel. Don't just like walk around with your.
I've
mouth
always
up
been
and
very
looking
good
up.
about watching my surroundings since I was a
Yeah.
kid.
See, the
Going to,
thing
like,
is,
places like
the
DR
thing
and
is,
stuff.
the thing is with any of these trips, you can right away tell who's a. Okay, so this is their main cathedral, right? Behind the cathedral, you can see there's a little flag sticking out on the top of the behind. Keep going on the road. Keep going a little more. See the little flag in the background?
Yeah.
That's the tower. We'll get to visit that. We can go there. It's like 3-4 floors you can climb up, and then there's observation deck on the very top. It goes through history. We don't have to go through it. It's on top of the mountain. That's where they used to protect the city from. This is you're going towards. So that go back.
I used
Go
to
back.
walk these streets when I was just
Pretty
a little
much.
boy.
Just wee lad.
So we lad.
Yeah, go more straight. Yeah. Okay, so now turn. That's the main road. That's the main street, and then 2 blocks up, that's where our hotel is. That's their main street. Basically, this is their basically called the center of the town, right? Keep going. Keep going. You just keep going until I tell you to stop.
Think I'm driving a car here?
No, just keep clicking. Basically, I'm saying, yeah, keep clicking one more time. All right, cool. So here, right here, there's a park. This is basically the center of the town. I'll mention there's a badass Peruvian restaurant right there in the corner. If you guys want, yeah, if you want a badass Peruvian restaurant, badass. Not that one. It's a little further out in the corner. Now, if you switch to the left side, this is a hotel. It's a Novotel. It's one of the bigger hotels. There's a couple of stores down there. That other building. Remember that building? I don't want to say it on live, but I'll tell you afterwards. Just remember that building. And then flip over and continue straight up. A little bit more. This right here on the left hand side, there's a little store, like a little grocery store. We'll go in there and I'll show you what I used to eat as a little kid. These little dessert things.
Hey, yo, what does that say?
Weistin.
Oh,
Weistin is pharmacy. Now flip around and continue going straight like you were going straight. Yeah, keep going straight. Yep. One more time. One more time. One more time. And one more time.
You lying.
And stop right here. Turn it around. So that restaurant I mentioned is further down into that area right there. This is a casino. Our hotel is literally going to be one building over. That's our hotel. So you can see how quickly we can get down to the main areas, right? Can you go that way? Can you go that way, Miggy? Further?
Into there? No.
Into there?
No,
into
this
the
is
park?
just the car's view.
Yeah, there you go. Keep going a little more. A little more.
Oh, damn.
We're in Europe, baby.
Yeah.
How the fuck they get this?
Probably somebody with a camera on their back.
Walk through.
Not this one. Keep going straight. One more time. This is now flip it over
They
to
got
the
thick
right.
girls?
No. They're all thin. See that? Yeah, click there. Click there. See that restaurant right there? That's the restaurant I was talking about. That's one of those old restaurants where they'll have traditional Lithuanian food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rated very highly. It's rated 3.5 because people that go there are Lithuanians and their moms and grandmas clearly will cook better. But for our purposes, it's gonna be
Very good.
more than enough.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Now, so that was the main road. But then if you go back to the cathedral and then go up, that's where the old town starts. So if you go back to the cathedral, Miggy, right there where it says Užupis, you see that UZ like with the little thing on top of it, where the cross is.
I'm trying to pick up my guy.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. So okay, so show this church real quick. See, this is a Renaissance type of church, right? Because it kind of like stretches up into the sky type of deal, right? Yeah. So flip it around. So this is where these are the outskirts of the old town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, these are outskirts of Old Town. Old Town is more but the building next door is a Baroque style building because you see that it's more heavy, bigger. You know what I mean? So Old Town everywhere there will get to walk around. There's a bunch of little stores with souvenirs.
Do a
and
lot of
shit.
people know English?
Everyone speaks English.
Everyone speaks
Damn near everyone speaks English, bro. Everyone damn near speaks Russian, English, any other fucking language you could possibly imagine. People do speak it. It's very
Really?
cultured. Yeah, education is very highly sought after in Lithuania. You know what I mean?
But do they like frown upon Russian speakers currently? Like you shouldn't be speaking Russian there?
No, yes, they do,
Like,
but they
it
also understand for them to communicate with Ukrainian immigrants, they have to speak Russian. So
Right, I got you.
yeah. So as you can see, these are the cars. You were asking me about the car culture. This is traditionally the cars. You're not gonna see that type of a car culture, right? Like a lot of Citroens,
Damn, Chrysler.
Renault, Chryslers.
Hey, I
Chryslers
see
are
a
big.
Japanese car.
Yeah.
It's a Subaru.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of little places like this where they have sushi and stuff. They have a very badass sushi restaurant we can go to, but I wouldn't say that it's
I don't want to
necessarily
go to
that
no
great.
damn sushi restaurant. while
Yeah,
I'm in
I don't think
Lithuania.
sushi is,
I want to try Lithuanian food, you know?
Yeah, I don't think sushi is gonna be.
It's like your
something-
brother he was telling us the other day. He's like, bro, they got this badass Argentinian steak place in Spain. It's like, why don't we go to a Spain steak place? You know,
yeah.
We're in Spain.
Yeah. So, if you can you go on the main map
We'll start to wrap it up here. It's
Yeah.
getting pretty late.
of Vilnius, main map of Vilnius. Yeah, Lithuania right there
Up.
on top, up
To the right. Up. Right there.
right there, and that's Vilnius right there. Go. See Vilnius Old Town. Click anywhere right there. Yeah, let's find this. Actually, on the main square where you see there's a park right there. Yeah, click anywhere right there. So okay, so it's one of the main areas there where there's a bunch of cafes and stores and things like that, and in this little park. So this is one of the roads we'll take. But if you flip more towards the left, Minky, you keep going left. Go all the way to that building. Keep going, and then go down from here to the left. Yeah. So this is where we'll be walking around, doing a lot of walking around in this area, and all of those little tiny streets, cobble road streets. You know what I mean? And this is gonna be super pretty. You're gonna have tables set up in the middle. Maybe there's gonna be a concert or something like that. Each restaurant kind of has their own little thing going on there, and yeah. So people just kind of walk around in this area. It's more of a, even natives themselves, they just go out there just to walk around. This is their, this is their
Gotcha.
pastime activity, right? So as you keep going down, and if you keep going down straight, it'll take us back to that main cathedral that I showed, and it's not a
Gotcha.
very long walk, maybe 20 minutes total,
Yeah.
right? And all of these are little tiny hotels and like
Shops.
shops and restaurants, and each one of those restaurants is really good. They're not just like janky bullshits. You know what I mean?
Alright, let's wrap it up.
Embassies, a lot of embassies. You'll see a bunch of embassies in this area,
Yeah.
like of different countries. Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you for joining us in the chat. I saw Nugs, Ozzy, my parents in there. Thank you for talking to us. We appreciate that. Yeah, we will catch you guys on Thursday. Peace.